Want to add a little drama to your wreath bows? Try the double loop tail technique. For this technique, you'll use two wide ribbon of your choice. Layer your ribbon and start with one long tail. I recommend at least 30 inches for that tail. Next, you're going to start making your actual bow. Be sure that you'll keep the ribbon layers on top of one another. That's super important. You can make as many loops as you like, with the longest loop on the bottom. I tend to start with 6-inch loops, and I'll work my way up by either a half an inch or a full inch until I get to the layer that I want. So for this bow that I'm going to show you guys today, I started with 6 inches on each side, then 5, then 4. Could have done 3, but I stopped. When you make your final loop, you should have a short tail that you're going to have at the top of the opposite side of your long tail. So if your long tail is on the left, your short tail is going to be at the top on the right. I go ahead and dovetail that short tail, making sure that it's correct, as I'm fluffing my bow and before I move on to the long tail. So for the long tail, I make 2 loops at the end of the bow and secure them together so they fall in a soft cascading fashion. I use double-sided tape to do that. You can also use glue dots or hot glue, but the whole effect adds volume and graceful movement that makes your wreath look lush and layered. You can even curl the ends around your fingers or a dowel for some extra flair if you choose. Think of it like giving your bow its own red carpet moment, right? It's elegant, it's full, and impossible to miss. So I get a lot of requests to show you all the actual process that I'm doing on things instead of just telling you. That's why this video is much longer, and I'll see how it does with you all. So time for a demo. Okay, so what I did, I have 2 ribbons. Both of them are 2.5 inches, and they are in shades of moss or an olive green. And this one's got a little cream in it, which I love these patterns. And so basically I took these 2 ribbons and I layered them over one another using my bow maker. And here's the actual bow, okay? So I have, there's 2 6-inch on each side, 6-inch loops, 2 5-inch loops, and 2 4-inch loops on each side. And then I have like a short tail here at the top. But the showstopper here is gonna be this extremely long 30-inch tail, all right? And so what we're gonna do with this is we are going to use some double-sided tape. We're gonna cascade our ribbon down, and then we're gonna curl. So I just wanted to actually show you the whole thing. A lot of you asked me for demos, and this is what makes the video much longer. So now you gotta just watch. So, there you go. And I'm sure most of you don't mind because you've really been asking me to show you how I do what I'm saying. So this is some double-sided tape. It is awesome. It's also, I can't even pronounce it. EZLIFEGO. So it's Easy Life Go is how it reads. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, it comes with a cover on one side, plastic cover. So I am going to peel that off. Okay. And this tape, one of the other things I really like about it is it's stretchy. All right. So what I'm going to do with this tape, I am going to actually cut it into sections. And I'm going to cut them into small sections, and I'm just going to stick them on my little tape thing right here. The same thing that it rolled it off of. And it wants to stick to me, so I have to be patient with it. So let's stick these over here so that I can grab them easily when I'm ready to start this next step. And I cut 5 little pieces. And again, like I said, it really does want to stick to me. It likes me. All right, so I'm cutting that off. And I've got 5 little pieces of this now. So I'm going to take my first part of my tail, this long 30-inch tail, and I am going to put a piece of tape. I'm going to fold it up like this, like just make a loop, okay? And I'm going to put a piece of tape between this layer and the back side of this, okay? So just going to stick this on here, right in the middle. And then I'm going to stick it on here. I'm going to turn this around to make sure I've got it sticking properly. Okay. So there's my first little cascade. And then I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to stick it like this. Same kind of a deal, but I'm going to put this on the back of here. Actually, I want to make sure it's on both of them since one is a little bit longer. And then I'm going to stick it on the back over here. And so now I'm going to come back in the front. Excuse me. Stick. I'm going to come back in the front and I'm going to put a piece of tape on the between the top and the bottom ribbon. So I've got a piece of tape here. I'm going to stick this here. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. So I've got a smaller piece or another piece of tape that I'm going to stick here, right in the bend of where I want this loop to be. And then I'm going to do this, okay? So when I do that, it'll allow me to, you know, kind of flex these out, okay? And so it kind of gives that bow a whole different look. I'm going to have to re-tape this one because I taped it weird. Hold on. Sorry. All right. So then it kind of gives your bow a whole different dynamic. You can make these shorter so that they, I'm sorry, you can't see from that angle. You can make these shorter so that they kind of lay on top of each other. You could do it like this. And that last piece of tape that I had, I can actually take and put in between here and here and lay it down. But before I do that, I want to show you something else, okay? Sorry, it's going to be a long video, but you asked. All right, so I am going to remove this tape from each of these sections real quick. Okay, so the other thing you can do, you can make these loops a little bit shorter. So I'm going to do this. Get that stuck there. I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to actually still have a little tail hanging down. So I'm going to stick this here. And then stick these two together. Okay. So you see now I've got a bit of a tail down here. And I can still dovetail this if I want. Or I can curl it if I want. What I need to make sure I do before I do that is stick this last piece to the curve, which is what I didn't do. All right, so I'm gonna stick that to the curve. And then you can see, I have to hold it this way so you can see. So you can see that it's hanging down. You would see that better if it were actually on a design, but I'm at an angle, so you would see that. And then either you can curl this, or you can dovetail this, or whatever it is you want to do. I am actually going to dovetail, and I got to put a piece of tape right in here. This is my 5th piece that I needed. Stick that in here. Okay, and you can even do these like to the side, so they're like this. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do it to the side, so they're sideways. I like mine on top, but you know, it's a personal thing. Do it whichever way you like. My daughter is talking. I have a storm in there. She doesn't realize I'm recording, so sorry about that. Okay, so then I'm just gonna dovetail these like I've dovetailed up here, and there's my bow. So this was a long one, but you asked, so there you go. So I hope this inspires you to give your bows a little extra flair, a little extra love. Comment double loop if you're going to try this, and then send me a pic. I'd love to see how it goes. Follow me for more Bow Boss tips every Tuesday, and then tomorrow we'll do a little crafting room confession.